Hashtag new history. Hashtag new history. All right, what's going on, good people? This is your man, Kelly Payton. Mr. Kelly is speaking. And today what I have on my heart, on my mind is this second year of the pandemic, man. So I got this revelation recently. It's been pretty cool. I got this revelation in an interesting environment. You got to check it out. So this won't take long. So I've been thinking a lot about life and death, not because so many people passed away last year, which was crazy, by the way. We're talking about so many different people, celebrities and the whole nine, personal people that might have been close to you, people close to me. Like, we lost a lot of people last year. If you're not careful, you can walk out of 2020 into 2021 just looking at life very negatively, very morbid, right? But I want to bring you into a level of revelation or thought process that I have. Y'all know I like to give out tools at what we do, so it's no big deal to come across something that's it's just a little bit different. So look, check it out. So here's what happened to me. So one of the things that I've been doing since the shifting of the pandemic with my multimedia company is I've been live streaming funerals. That's right, live streaming funerals. Now, if anybody knows me, you know me well, you know I dealt with a lot of death before the age of 18, but I made a vow to myself. I was scared to death when it came to graveyards and caskets and Halloween and all the rest of that. I didn't mess with any of that stuff, man. I really didn't. I left this stuff out away from me as far as humanly possible. But lately, with this pandemic going on, I realized that it's a service that was rendered. And there were some guys that were doing it before, and no shade towards them, but they were like ridiculously expensive. And my thing is, if it's a grieving family already during the pandemic, there's no need to hit them over the head, so to speak, as we say in business. But the reality is, so I've been doing this now for, since last year. So I've been doing it quite some time here. But I've learned a lot at these funerals. And actually, I learned a perspective I want to share with you here today. And the perspective is about death not being final. The reason I say death is not final is because, think about it. So somebody passes away, and then there's a funeral that happens, right? Now, physically, they're not here anymore. But there are all of these people that come up who are touched by the life of this person, positively or negatively. But either way, they're touched. And so that person's energy, that person's memory, every time you think of them, there's something that is created. There's another spark that's created. So that person who has transitioned physically, you're still talking about them. You're bringing up memories about them. You're laughing, you're joking, thinking about things that they did and things that they might have told you. And you have a lot of uplifting thoughts that are connected and concerning this particular person. So you might forget this person's face. You might forget their voice over the years, but you will never forget how they made you feel. And feelings, emotions is an energy. It's an energy that's transferred. Happy is a feeling. Sad is a feeling. Excited is a feeling. All those things move the body. It moves the mind. It moves. It causes us to create. And so that person is relatively reborn over and over again. Every time you mention their name, every time you talk about them, every time you think about something that they wore, some places that you guys went that was funny, whatever the case is. And of course, this was something that was near and dear to me because my father was murdered when I was 8 years old. I've told you guys that before. And I think about him often. And there's this dilemma going on. I won't say dilemma. That's the wrong way to use because some of them are going to listen. So it's not a dilemma that's going on. But there's been some conversation in my family about me in regards to my father. And one of the things that was stated to me was that I'm chasing my father's ghost. And initially that deeply offended me. Like I was hurt by it because I felt like I wanted to be authentic. I wanted to be myself. So it's like, why would you think that I'm trying to chase and be a dead man? That was my thought process. So, but after a while, I kind of came to grips with the fact that what they were saying is that I began to resemble a reflection of energy that they knew before, a familiar energy. And some of them have a view of it positive. Some of them has a view of it as not so positive. And a lot of them know that it's something that's a little different as far as my energy, because if you go back 5 years, we're talking about pre-beard, pre-beads. we're talking about, pre-cigars. We're talking about a different guy. A different energy that I exude. And some of the energy that I exude now is an energy that's always been a part of me, but it's familiar. So I think about that. My father, did he actually pass away, right? The reason I brought that up as well is one of the shows that I like. It's a show called Power that comes on Stars that I like. And there's a Power 2. It's called Ghost, right? Ghost Book 2, right? This is after, well, I'm not going to tell you, just in case some of you guys haven't watched the show Power before. I'm not going to tell you what happened. But there was one particular scene that a young man stated that ghosts never die. And one of the main characters' nickname was Ghost. And he said, ghosts never die. And it made me instantly think about my father, that he's actually not gone. A piece of him is inside of all of us. And now that piece of him is inside of my children. And so on and so on and so forth. So think about this. Somebody might have, I had a great uncle, my grandmother's father, who passed away 10 years before I was born. But I interact with my cousins, his children, and his children's children, my first cousins, first and second cousins, rather. I interact with them, and from what they tell me, a lot of him is them. So not just look, but in mannerisms and the whole nine. So just think about that. One of the things that I observed from being from live streaming funerals is I know who's some kin. You can walk in and you can see people. It's a whole row of people wearing glasses, or a whole row of people with a certain skin tone, with a hair a certain way, walk a certain way, certain style, what have you. And so that person is laying there and they're physically gone, but their remnants are right there around. That is beautiful. So energy and life is transferable. So I don't look at death as being a final thing, even though some believe in the aspect of heaven and hell, some believe in the afterlife and things of that nature. And so I know it's not a newsflash for a lot of you guys, but for me, I actually absorb the fact that, like, wow, like we really don't ever die. Like we really are immortal. This energy is immortal. It's constantly transferring, and we are living out this energy at this moment, but eventually the energy will have to be given to somewhere else or somebody else to be able to take it to the next level or take it to wherever it needs to go. Let's think about that. So think about what we pass down generation to generation, good, bad, or ugly. Like we're giving it away. So energy doesn't die. Energy doesn't die. It's transferable, people. So when you're thinking about your kids and leaving a legacy and everything else, and some of us might not get an opportunity to leave, a house on the hill for our children. Some of us might not be able to leave businesses and things of that nature, but the energy and effect, the way we made people feel is what they will always remember. So listen, as you go through 2K21, as you go through 2021, think about how you make people feel. And think about how they make you feel. And find somewhere in the middle to be able to connect with that energy, man. Like, connect with that energy. Like, we need it. We really, really do. So death is not final. It's just transition. There's a part of me that didn't want to make this because I'm like, man, I don't want to talk morbid, because you speak things out and, mess around and draw stuff into your life. Listen, I ain't going nowhere. so I'm good right now. I'm good right now. Too much work to do. That's for sure. So, just wanted to connect with you guys about this and just talk to you about, don't be afraid of all the things that are going on, right? There's a scripture in the Bible, Psalms 91. It says that 1,000 shall fall at that side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come down to you and your dwelling, right? So with all of the crazy that's going on, a lot of this stuff didn't affect us. It really didn't. We saw people over here and people over there, but it didn't come and knock on your door. And if it did, it didn't stay long. Think about that. Think about that, man. So energy doesn't die, it's transferable. So you have a responsibility, people, to be able to pass that energy along to other people. You have that responsibility to give good vibes, as people say, to their families, to their friends, to the people you interact with. Good vibes only, man. Good vibes only. 2K21. Don't allow things to rob you from your good vibes, man. I need you to do great things. Continue to do great things. Constantly focus on the positive, and great things will continue to happen and draw into your life. Remember, your mind is a magnet, your mouth is a portal, and your movement is contagious. Remember that. So listen, I'm signing off. Mr. Kelly Payton. Mr. Kelly is speaking with another episode of Hashtag New History. You're hanging out with your boy, and I appreciate it. See y'all next time. Peace. Hashtag New History. Hashtag New History.